All right, with that, let's bring in retired West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, a former Democrat who became an independent, now a New York Times bestselling author of Dead Center in Defense of Common Sense. Senator Manchin, always good to see you. Thank you very much for
good to
being
be with you, Martha.
here.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I'm curious, you watched Chuck Schumer closely over all of those years, and I want to play this. This is Chuck Schumer back on October the 7th, when he was encouraging his party to fight. This is a word we hear a lot from Democrats, and now they just lost a fight. But watch this and watch the reaction when it comes to Schumer.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party are hell-bent on taking health care away from 60 million people. Democrats have 3 words for this: no way.
That guy was fiery. There was ominous music. He swore. What happened to that guy?
Charles Schumer's 3 words were no match for these 5 other words. They caved on the shutdown.
So what's going on with Chuck Schumer? What's going to happen with him?
Martha, I don't know. You know, everyone's blaming everybody. The blame game is what they're playing, and we can't afford that any longer. You know, I'm an independent, okay? I was a member of the Democratic Party all my life. It is not the party I has always thought it was and what it was supposed to be, the way I was raised. The Republican Party, basically, they've both gone to the extremes. So what we have today, you have a piece of legislation that they're working on, health care. Health care, the Republicans are correct. We did an extension. The extension was done to fix it. But then everyone is at fault because no one got together and put a real, true ad hoc committee together with Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and in the House trying to come up with a better way to fix health care. And it was all extended. And you know, people think, well, we have a vaccine that works now. Why can't we go back to where we were before? That's common sense, logical. But they know that the cost was kind of put on the high end of it, and that's why they increased it to 400% of the poverty guidelines.
It just feels like a typical financial Band-Aid that just keeps getting slapped on a problem that isn't getting fixed. And that's the issue here. Nobody should be paying more and more. The Affordable Care Act is not affordable, which has become very clear. You just heard me asking the Majority Whip, Tom Emmer, you know, what the plan's going to look like to fix this problem. But with regard to where
Let me just tell you what I think, Martha, what I think the plan, okay, you're saying, do they have a plan? There's a lot of smart people up there. Take my friend Bill Cassidy. Bill Cassidy is probably one of the most intelligent people in that arena as far as understanding how healthcare works. You can put an ad hoc committee together with Democrats, Republicans that want to work together. You know, you're just lumping people together and say the Republicans are all bad or the Democrats are all bad. No, you wouldn't have now moving forward if you didn't have 8 Democrats that would, senators that worked with the Republicans. It should have never been 40 days, 43 days. Let me just make sure everyone understands. When you have the trifecta, that means when the majority party, whoever it may be, occupies the president, the House, and the Senate. Right now it's the Republicans. Back in 2020 it was the Democrats. You have the responsibility to keep the train on the track and running on time. That's your responsibility. Do everything you can. And if you're in the minority, don't be unreasonable. You can't put this kind of hurt on the American people. And you know something else? Quit paying them. If they don't want to work,
100%.
If they can't do their job, quit paying them.
No, it's embarrassing. Some of them didn't take their paycheck, members of Congress, but it's embarrassing. If you're not doing your job, then you're the first people who should not be getting paid. I think that they should be very embarrassed, anybody who was taking their check here. With regard to your former party, the Democrat Party, there's a lot of questions about who the future leadership is, and I just want to get your reaction to this. This is Charlemagne the God, who has a very popular show and is very influential in a large group of Democrats. Watch this.
Jasmine Crockett is actually what the Democrats should be leaning into. She got you by just saying, Donald Trump is racist and this administration is racist, and let me tell you why, and then you get into all of the issues. I'm like, yo, you need somebody like Jasmine Crockett. She is the most effective messenger that the Democratic Party has right now, and they need to be using her as a Trojan horse.
Do you agree with him?
I don't. There's going to be, I think it's going to be maybe a sleeper. I think it's someone maybe we don't really know that has a high profile right now, but it's been very, very effective on the Democratic Party somewhere. There's a lot of good people on both sides. I've always looked for the betterment of how do we get people together to put the country before the party. I belong to one party, the American Party. It has two wings to it, I guess. It has a Democrat and a Republican wing. But they should be coming together at the end where the country basically, is the purpose for we're all here together.
We live in a very different world.
I just cannot, Martha.
Yeah.
They're fighting each other continuously rather than trying to find a pathway forward. They're going to vote today. It'll be successful. They'll open it back up. They said, okay, what's the time element? The CR. The CR is kicking the can down the road. Do your job. Get in there and fix it.
Yeah.
Make sure that people own their own health care. 401ks, you own your own pension plans now. Why can't you own your own health care?
I think a lot of people would agree with that, but we live in a very different world where, everybody's redistricting. You're going to end up with red states and blue states. That middle zone does not seem to be where most of the energy is, but we will see. Thank you very much, Senator Manchin.
Martha, they have forgot. Martha, hold on. They
Go
have
ahead.
forgot. This is still called the United States. It's the United States. Don't just quit trying to make it the divided states. We're the United States. We're proud to be Americans. God bless America. But we have to work together. We all take the same oath of office to defend and protect the Constitution. Start doing your job.
Well, amen to that. Thank you very much, Senator Manchin. Good to see you as always, sir. Thank you.